So I've had this realization quite recently that out of all of the common fears that we experience as humans, so the fear of things changing, the fear of failure, the fear of success, fear of judgment, there probably isn't one that stings more or has a more drastic and devastating impact on your life that can honestly change the course and trajectory of your life without you even realizing, more than the fear of rejection. These are just some random thoughts I've been having really, but in my experience, I think that my fear of rejection, past experiences where I got rejected from, it could have been my friend group in school, or I embarrassed myself in front of other people, or I was left out. I really think those are the experiences that haunt me the most. And without me realizing, I think a lot of those early experiences I really think they're influencing me today. Like the risks that I'm willing to take, how much I'm willing to put myself on the line, put my own ego on the line to risk, upsetting people. I think it would honestly be fair to say that there are aspects of my life in which I've developed into quite a passive person, just because I've been afraid to hurt someone's feelings or even risk them getting annoyed at me. Like times at work where, I say yes too much, or I try to hide my mistakes, or when I do make a mistake, even if it's something small, I apologize way too much. I apologize to an obscene amount. And even apologizing when the other person has got something wrong. Like someone else makes a mistake, but maybe they're my superior and I apologize to them. All to avoid people getting angry at me. And I think, what this comes down to is just those painful childhood experiences where maybe I was rejected by my classmates, or I wasn't a very popular guy in school. Just feeling like I've been rejected by my entire year group, and they wanted nothing to do with me, and I was just some friendless loser for a while. I'm just deep in that now for 2 whole years when I started school, because I moved 100 miles south, so I really knew no one joining high school, and I had no friends for 2 years. I don't think I've been through a more painful experience in my life than that. The sheer pain of that rejection, of feeling I'm in a year group of 180 people and not one of them wants anything to do with me. What is wrong with me? What traits that I possess, what qualities about me make me so dislikable that not one person wants to risk being seen with me. And I really think here I am, I'm on camera, I'm putting myself on show to the world, but I even get anxiety about doing that. Maybe less anxiety, because in a weird way, it's I might get mean comments once in a while, and my mind does linger on that probably a little bit too much, but the rejection is faceless rejection. Obviously I appreciate anyone who's tuning in right now, but it's I can't visualize you. I can't visualize what you look like. I can't see the expression on your face, whether you like or dislike what I'm saying. I can't see your live reaction. So maybe that kind of acceptance or rejection doesn't have as much of an effect on me. But again, another thought I've been having is I think what we do is we project that fear of rejection onto the world, onto our external environment. Like, something I've been noticing for ages about myself is that when I'm in a pretty bad mood, I'm susceptible to this. When I'm not feeling great about myself, I might walk past someone on the street and they look at me. They just glance at me. And really, like, I don't know this person. They're probably just like looking in a particular direction, and I happen to like coincide with where they're looking, or they're just staring into space. But whenever someone does that, even if their expression is just like really neutral, I decide that like they're judging me, or they're rejecting me. They're seeing me and like rejecting me, if that makes sense. Like, we interpret these like neutral situations as rejection because of that fear. We take something neutral and make it a negative. We project our own feelings onto the external environment. And I think the other way we project this fear is we project it internally as well. We project it onto our own body. Like, I think for years, like, I've known people who do this, and I'm not so guilty of this, but like, there's guys that I'll see in the gym, or certain friends I've had in the past. It's pretty common amongst guys, where they actually will be like going around with like resting bitch face, or their resting expression is to just glare at people. I mean, I've done this before. Guys trying to act tough. But I've gone and spoken to some of these guys. Like, there was this guy that I used to see all the time in the gym, and like, we didn't really talk, but we'd nod at each other. But most of the time he'd have this like really, like, not angry, but like kind of a mean expression on his face. And when I talked to him for the first time, like, I realized actually he's just a little bit awkward, to be honest. And he wasn't very good at small talk. It seemed like a very introverted guy. But just by looking at him, you think, he's angry with me. And what we do is, that is our way of anticipating rejection and getting there first. We adopt this mean expression on our face. When you see tough guys do this, this is what's going on. Their idea is, I'm going to reject you before you reject me. I'm not going to allow myself to feel that pain, that embarrassment of you rejecting or perceiving me in a negative way. So I'm going to take control of the situation. I'm going to reject you so you can't bring pain to me. And it's a really depressing way of like going about life. And again, like, I've had friends who do this, and it also manifests itself in them like talking negatively about people who they've just met. And I kind of learned to see through it, and I'm like, it's because you're afraid of being rejected by them, or being judged by them. So you get in there first. You make out that you hate this person that you just met, or you pick apart their appearance or the things they do or say unnecessarily, or because you've gotten used to like bad things happening to you, or because you have those emotional scars from getting rejected in the past. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. I guess it comes from this idea that I've had, which was like, I think the first time I ever got rejected by a girl, which is quite a common experience when you're like a teenager, I got rejected by a girl. And then after that, I genuinely didn't ask out a girl, like take the initiative to ask a girl out for like fucking 10 years or something. Maybe not 10 years, but at least like a good like 6-7 years. And it's something I like got into a lot last year, like, because I'd never really been through that stage in life. Like, I'd had girlfriends in the past, but they'd always like express interest in me first. I learned the skill of cold approach, which is all about going and putting yourself on the line in one of the most like raw and vulnerable ways. Like, when a girl would reject me on the street, at first I'd be like wincing on the inside, Because in your head, you're going back to those like past thoughts of like, you know, is something wrong with me? I'm ugly, I'm dislikable. But then eventually you just kind of become desensitized to it. And I think like that like desensitization to rejection, it's got to be like one of the biggest superpowers or cheat codes in life in general. Like, you know, not being afraid to just put yourself and your personality on the line. Not being afraid of the consequences of that. And just living your life the way you want to. Being able to handle people disliking you. It's a really deep topic. There's so many different branches to it, but and I know I'm not really like offering up much in the way of solutions, but I think anytime we can sense this fear coming up, we've just got to try and do the opposite, or we've just got to consciously remind ourselves that like, you know, I actually believe rejection is a good thing. Like having thicker skin in that way, not having your self-worth be like so dependent on like the opinions of others, which are always going to fluctuate. And I guess something like cold approach is like a really good skill if you're a guy or even a girl, because I don't see that many girls out here like approaching guys nowadays. And like I've been approached a few times, like I've always been like really impressed by like girls taking the initiative to do that, because that's like going against the ingrained societal norms even more. So I think it actually takes more for a girl to do that. But yeah, those are just my like loose thoughts on rejection. I'm really trying to just like get off that script to not have my life be like almost predetermined by like these fears that I've like buried very deep in myself. And that's a theme that's going to be coming up like a lot more on this channel. So hope you enjoyed, my friend. See you in the next one.